So I didn't think I'd be doing 2 videos today, but then the Nuggets gave Aaron Gordon a $92 million contract extension, which averages to about $23 million a year. Real quick on the John Wall thing from a moment ago, I hope it didn't sound like I was saying the Clippers should definitely trade for John Wall. So anyway, this is an overpay for Aaron Gordon, but for the Nuggets specifically, I don't think it's really that bad. I'll talk about Gordon real quick, but then I'll get into the money stuff. We hope that he can be basically a more athletic Draymond for them, where he can defend multiple positions, be a passer in short rolls and diving from the top of the key, hopefully make open threes, cut to the basket, and at least take it off the dribble sometimes, whether it's in transition or whether it's like he's open, defense is closing out to him, that sort of thing. All that said, though, I don't know if the Nuggets had another option that was definitely going to get them someone better than Gordon, because number one, most of their picks are already locked up in protections and everything, so they can't go crazy with trading those. Also, they're going to have to pay Michael Porter Jr. at some point here, because his extension would kick in after this upcoming season, which means they wouldn't have had cap space anyway after this year. So when you put that together with the picks, I just don't really know what the avenue was for them to get someone better than Gordon, even if, again, this is still an overpay. And I do fear that in a playoff series, Gordon could either just be missing a lot of shots, as in teams are not guarding him from the three-point line, or he's making the spacing a little too awkward. At the same time, Jokic is so damn good and there's so much shooting on this team that maybe it doesn't really matter if the power forward is not someone the defense is going to stay glued to at the three-point line, but it's still a little bit of a fear. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is just kind of how the NBA is now. It's you overpay for a guy or you lose him. So the best bet was for them to just hold on to him. The interesting thing now, though, is if you look at, let's say, the 2024 season, Jokic is going to be getting probably 46, 47 million a year or whatever. Murray's going to be at 33. Gordon's going to be at, on average, 23. It might technically be like 21 or whatever. And then we assume MPJ is going to be making over 20 million a year as well. So that's your team. Do we think that team is a title contender? Feel free to disagree with me on this one. I think they are. I think that team is loaded. Sure, there's some fear that they're not good enough on defense. I'll give you that. Another reason why Gordon is kind of necessary here. But there's so much firepower. There's so much versatility on offense. And I mean, MPJ has already proven to be the perfect off-ball player with Jokic and Murray, where he's moving around, he's setting screens, he's running horns action with himself and Jokic, and you fake one way, defense freaks out, you cut to the basket, Jokic makes a perfect pass. You know, it's some really pretty basketball. It's effective as well. And now the question is, when will Jamal Murray be healthy so we can see that? Potentially this season. If that does happen, it's going to be at the tail end of the regular season. If not that, then we'll see it 2 years from now. And yeah, I mean, the only other questions are like Will Barton's contract, which that's going to be a thing in the 2024 season. And just how can they round out the rest of the roster? I mean, you've got Zeke Naji, you got Bones Highland. We'll see if either one of them become players. Zeke did get some minutes last year, to be fair. We'll see if internet sensation Bol ever actually gets minutes like that. And we'll also see if Michael Malone is really the coach for this team. I think up to now, the consensus is he's pretty good. I don't think anyone considers him to be one of the best coaches in the league, but he's far from one of the worst, and maybe that's enough. I don't know. But yeah, I think this contract will get killed on Twitter or whatever, but if you dive into the details, what else were they really going to do? Also, to state the obvious, the salary cap goes up as his contract goes, so it doesn't look as bad 2 years from now.